Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. So, if you're a content marketer, you've probably poured tons of hours into getting GPT 4.0 just right. You figured out how to wrangle it, how to make it nail your brand voice. But what if I told you the entire game is about to change with GPT 5? And I don't mean just a little update. Okay, let's get into what this really means for you and your work. This quote from Ethan Mollick, who got to test it early, just says it all, doesn't it? It just does stuff. Sounds almost too simple, but it points to this massive shift. We're going from an AI that needs you to spell everything out to one that actually gets what you're trying to do and starts helping. It's less about being a prompt mechanic and more about having a real collaborator. And that's really the big question for all of us, right? All those skills you spent so long building, don't worry, they're not going anywhere, but they do need to evolve. The whole relationship we have with this tool is changing. So let's unpack what that actually looks like. Yeah, we're basically stepping into this brand new era. People are calling it the "it just does stuff" era. And look, this isn't just about the AI getting a bit smarter. It's a totally new way of working. It's all about closing the gap between your initial idea and that final piece of content. I love this analogy from OpenAI's Sam Altman. It's just perfect. With GPT 4.0, it often felt like you were briefing a really sharp intern. You had to be super specific, you had to double check everything. But now, it's like having a whole team of PhDs on call, ready to jump in, and they even start to anticipate what you'll need next. So, what's the magic trick behind all this? It's something called a unified architecture. The best way to think about it is that GPT-5 isn't just one single thing. It's a whole system with a super smart traffic cop inside. You ask it a simple question, wham, it sends it to a fast, quick model for an instant answer. But if you give it a complex project, like a whole campaign strategy, it automatically routes that to its heavy-duty thinking models. You don't have to do anything. It just happens. Okay, so the tech is definitely impressive, but how does that actually help you create better content and do it faster? Let's dig into some real, concrete examples that are going to change your day-to-day. So check this out. During the launch event, OpenAI showed this amazing side-by-side comparison. They asked both GPT 4.0 and GPT 5 to write a eulogy for the older AI models. GPT 4.0, well, it gave a pretty decent but, kind of generic response. Today, we gather to bid a heartfelt farewell. It's okay, but it feels like it came from a template, right? Now, contrast that with GPT 5. It started with friends and colleagues and curious strangers who became regulars. And then it dropped this line. Wow. The rhythm, the emotion, it just gets it. It understands nuance. For any marketer who has torn their hair out trying to get an AI to capture a specific tone of voice, this is huge. It means you're not fixing bad writing anymore. You're polishing something that's already great. Now let's talk about something really important: trust. Early reports are showing something like a 45% drop in factual errors, hallucinations, compared to GPT 4.0. And why this matters is confidence. It means way less time that you have to spend fact-checking every little thing, and way less of that background anxiety that a mistake is going to slip through. So here's the bottom line when you put it all together. From the quality of the writing to its accuracy, we're seeing this massive jump. The whole paradigm is shifting from an AI that follows your instructions really well to one that figures out what you need and suggests the next moves. It's just a leap forward on every single metric that matters for creating content. And this quote from Ethan Mollick, again, just hits the nail on the head about this proactivity. Think about it. He didn't ask for a whole marketing campaign. He just asked for ideas. But the AI anticipated what someone with startup ideas would need next and just did it. Can you imagine briefing a blog post and getting back not just the post, but also the social copy, a newsletter blurb, and maybe even some KPIs to track? That's where we're headed. Okay, so when you have this much power at your fingertips, you have to change your game plan. Your role is shifting, big time. You're getting out of the weeds of tweaking every little prompt and moving up to the high-level view of a creative director. This right here, this is the single most important strategic change to make. You absolutely still need to provide the critical context. Who's your audience? What's your brand? What are your goals? That's the what and the why. But now you can be way less specific about the how. You can actually trust the model to figure out the best way to bring your vision to life. All right, so how do we actually do this? How do we adapt the way we work to fit this new, more collaborative model? Let's break down some really practical steps you can take. So here's a simple 5-step workflow that early users are figuring out. First, it starts with your whole approach. Make your prompts simpler. Be more open-ended. Don't spell out the how. Second, there's a new little power move you can use for really complex tasks. We'll get to that in just a second. And finally, it's about your mindset. You gotta learn to trust that first draft more. And when the AI proactively gives you something you didn't ask for, follow that trail. It can lead you to some amazing new ideas. And here it is. This is that power move. It's a ridiculously simple little phrase that early testers stumbled upon. When you add "think hard about this" to your prompt, you're basically sending a signal to that internal traffic cop we talked about. You're forcing it to use its most powerful, deep thinking models. It's like a secret handshake to make sure you get the absolute best analysis for your toughest content challenges. And here's another awesome technique, and this one comes straight from OpenAI themselves. It's called meta-prompting. If you write a prompt and it just doesn't work, stop banging your head against the wall trying to fix it. Instead, copy that failed prompt, paste it back into GPT-5, and ask it to fix the prompt for you. I mean, who better to optimize a prompt for the model than the model itself? So let's just zoom out for a second and look at the big picture. It's really easy to see this massive leap in what the check can do and start to wonder, what about my job? But the key thing to remember is that this is an amplifier. Not a replacement, but of course, let's be real here, it's still a tool. Your human oversight is absolutely essential. You're still the one who needs to provide the brand context. You're still the one who has to review the output for strategic alignment. And you're definitely the one who adds those human stories and insights that make content truly connect with people. The only difference is you'll be spending less time on the grunt work and more time on high-level strategy. And this right here is the ultimate takeaway. Your expertise in marketing, your deep understanding of your audience, your strategic vision, all of those things just became more valuable, not less. The AI is getting better and better at the tactical stuff, which frees you up to truly lead the creative vision. Your job isn't going away. It's getting a major promotion. So the technology has officially evolved. It's a true creative partner now, faster, smarter, and way more proactive than anything we've ever seen before. The only real question left is, are you ready to step up and be its director? Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.